Welcome back to the news. Canadian Prime Minister Stephen Harper has confirmed that he will not be attending the CHOGM summit in Sri Lanka.
In a statement, Prime Minister Harper notes that Canada believes that if the Commonwealth is to remain relevant, it must stand in defence of the basic principles of freedom, democracy and respect for human dignity, which are the very foundations on which the Commonwealth has been built.
Now Harper adds that, quote, "It is clear that the Sri Lankan government has failed to uphold the Commonwealth's core values which are cherished by Canadians. As such, as the Prime Minister of Canada, I will not attend the 2013 CHOGM in Colombo, Sri Lanka. This is a decision that I do not take lightly," unquote.
Issuing a statement, Harper noted, quote, "When Sri Lanka was selected to host the 2013 Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting, Canada was hopeful that the Sri Lankan government would seize the opportunity to improve human rights conditions and take steps towards reconciliation and accountability. Unfortunately, this has not been the case," unquote. He further said that Canada is deeply concerned about the situation in Sri Lanka and the absence of accountability for the serious violations of human rights and international humanitarian standards during and after the civil war is unacceptable. The statement also noted that Canada will continue to monitor events in Sri Lanka and urge the government to implement fully the recommendations of the Lessons Learnt and Reconciliation Commission, promote respect for human rights and the rule of law, and undertake an independent investigation into alleged violations of the human rights of thousands of civilians at the end of the conflict. According to the statement, Deepak Oberoi, Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Foreign Affairs and for International Human Rights, will represent Canada at the meeting in Colombo.
Meanwhile, Australian Prime Minister thinks otherwise. Tony Abbott said today that he would be attending the CHOGM 2013 that is scheduled to be held in Colombo this year.
Now, speaking on the sidelines of the Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation Forum, or APEC, in Bali, Indonesia, Abbott said, quote, "I intend to attend CHOGM and will do my best to make a constructive contribution to the deliberations there," unquote.
Visiting Indian External Affairs Minister Salman Khurshid said that Prime Minister Manmohan Singh's attendance at the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting will be notified in due course by the Office of the Prime Minister.
The Indian External Affairs Minister made this statement at a media briefing held in Colombo this afternoon following his arrival in Sri Lanka. This is Khurshid's first visit to Sri Lanka since taking office as the Indian External Affairs Minister. India's Sun TV reported that Khurshid would pay special attention to the fisheries problems during his visit to Sri Lanka. Khurshid is also scheduled to visit the northern province. The Indian External Affairs Minister is due to inspect projects being implemented in the province with the aid from the Indian government. Meanwhile, following his arrival in the island, Salman Khurshid and Minister of External Affairs Professor G.L. Pires convened a joint media briefing this afternoon.
They've released most of our Indian fishermen, and I think the release of most of those fishermen is something that we should express our gratitude and appreciation for. And beyond this, we have agreed that fishermen on both sides, their representatives of Fishermen Association, should meet very quickly so that whatever governments had put in place in 2008, if it can be more effectively implemented, fortified, or some other working method can be arrived at through consultations between fishermen on both sides, it would be good for everyone.
And the government of Sri Lanka has consistently emphasized the need for some concrete action to reduce substantially the numbers of boats and fishermen coming into Sri Lanka's territorial waters, because it has to do with the livelihoods of the fishermen in the north. The people have been deprived of a livelihood for a very long period because of the activities of sea tigers. Now life is returning to normal, and we have consistently emphasized the need for concrete action.
Indian External Affairs Minister Khurshid also shared his views on the recently concluded Northern Provincial Council polls.
We hope that successful culmination of these elections will usher in a new beginning towards a better future for all people, including in the north. India has been consistent in calling for an early political settlement and national reconciliation through a meaningful devolution of powers and empowerment of citizens, all citizens of Sri Lanka, including the Sri Lankan Tamil community. India is committed to the unity, sovereignty and territorial integrity of Sri Lanka. And I think this is a paramount commitment.
A journalist raised a question inquiring whether the Prime Minister of India would attend the CHOGM summit scheduled to take place in Colombo next month.
I will myself obviously come as part of the delegation as Foreign Minister, but the rest of the announcement has to come from the Prime Minister's office.
Meanwhile, the visiting Indian External Affairs Minister also met with members of the Tamil National Alliance.
The meeting took place in Colombo.
In that sense of responsibility.
The meeting, which began at 7 p.m., lasted for close to an hour. We are satisfied with the meeting with the visiting Indian External Affairs Minister. India is of the view that solutions to issues should be sought with genuine interest. The Minister said that we need to support. We will definitely provide our cooperation. India will also be committed towards this.
On this first tonight, the agreement for the Sampur coal power plant, which will be constructed by India in Trincomalee, was signed today.
Now, the agreement was signed between the Ceylon Electricity Board and the Indian Thermal Power Corporation.
At a media briefing held following the signing of the agreement, Minister of Power and Energy Pavitra Vanniyarachchi noted that the power plant would have a capacity of 500 megawatts. About 500 acres of land will be used for this project, which will be an investment of about $500 million. This is being done by Italian government together with the state-owned NTCP Corporation and the Ceylon Electricity Board. They will establish the Trincomalee Energy Corporation Limited. The CEB will own 50% of the company, while the Indian government will own 50%. 70% of the investment will come from loans, while the balance 30% will be put up by the CEB and the NTCP Corporation in India.
ලංකා විදුලි බල මණ්ඩලයත් ඉන්දුනානු රජයේ NTPC සමාගමත් දැමීමට කටයුතු කරමින් තිබෙනවා.
The national ceremony to mark World Habitat Day was held at the Soisapura Flats in Moratuwa under the auspices of President Mahinda Rajapaksa.
Flats renovated at a cost of 350 million rupees under a project to renovate flats in Moratuwa were declared open today at the function. Houses are being constructed for nearly 300,000 internally displaced persons in the north. Our hope and aim is to provide a house for every family. We will not stop until we achieve it. We have provided electricity, water and new roads to the people of this country. We wanted to bring the beauty of the village to the city while taking the luxury and convenience in the city to the village. We have done this successfully. We must protect these victories and move forward. People from a decent civilization are being settled. Therefore, don't let the freedom we won be taken away. The Commonwealth Rally began its journey on day 6 today from Ampara and reached the Mahiyangane town by this evening.
The Commonwealth Rally is organised by the MTV-MBC Media Network in collaboration with the Ministry of Mass Media and Information and Sri Lanka Youth. Before the rally commenced today, the flag of Cameroon was hoisted on the main float of the rally. The flag was hoisted by the Eastern Province Minister of Education, Culture and Transport, Vimalavira Disanayaka. There may be different political views among countries. However, we should cooperate with all countries in the world. We consider this to be an important event which will have an impact on the image of our country, the respect we have as a nation, and it will also have an impact on our international relations. What we hope to accomplish through this combined effort by Sri Lanka Youth and the Sirasa Media Network is to showcase the basis of our humanness and our Sri Lankan identity. Through programs such as this, you create awareness among the people. Such programs raise awareness levels at state institutions, religions and political institutions, as well as among school children. A team of motorcyclists from the Civil Defence Force also joined the Commonwealth Rally from the Maha Oya area. The rally reached was welcomed to Fadiyat Talab this afternoon by school children. I request people from all religions and races to come together and support this initiative, as this event is a gift to our country. The Commonwealth rally reached Mahiyangane this evening. The rally is due to travel to Polonnaruwa tomorrow.
The petition filed by the leader of the Janasatha Peranamuna, Venerable Battaramulla Seelarathana Thera, pertaining to the discovery of a stock of marked ballot papers at St. Andrews College in Putlam was taken up in the Court of Appeal today.
The petition was taken up before a two-judge bench of the Court of Appeal, comprising of Justices Sisiradi Abru and Anil Gunaratna. Lawyers appearing for the petitioners say that the discovery of the stock of ballot papers points to an irregularity in the counting process. The bench said that the facts contained in the petition must be proven before the President of the Court of Appeal. Meanwhile, a fundamental rights petition filed for the residents of 456 homes in Slave Island was taken up in the Supreme Court today. The petition was taken up before a three-judge bench comprising of Chief Justice Mohan Piris and Justice Chandra Ekanayaka and Rohini Marasinghe. President's Counsel Sanjeeva Jayawardena, representing the Urban Development Authority in court today, said that it would take 2 years to demolish these homes and construct the apartment complex. The Supreme Court bench noted that the court would make a statement on the 14th of October, bringing a resolution to the matter. We made submissions to court not for a resolution on their behalf, but to show the cause for their concern. The court looked at the practical inconveniences being faced by these people. The court said that it would reach a decision next Monday that would not inconvenience these people.
The Working Committee of the United National Party convened this afternoon. Speaking to the media subsequent to the meeting, UNP General Secretary This Sattanayake said that a special committee will be appointed to look into ways in which the UNP could be steered to victory at the upcoming polls. He further said that the leadership of the party will have no authority over the recommendations of the special committee. Meanwhile, also speaking to the media, Gayantha Karunathilake said that Karo Jayasuriya will most likely be appointed to... we will have details of that story later on in the bulletin.
Brought to you by... Without Airtel, your smartphone is not really a smartphone.
News First U reporter Chandana Kurupwaraj from Badulla filed this report on a fire that broke out at a reserve last night.
A fire broke out at the Aladaluwa Reserve in Badulla last night. Communication centers and towers had been established in this area. About 20 to 30 acres of reserve land was destroyed in the fire. The cause of the fire has been attributed to the prevailing high temperature and conducive weather conditions.
Taking a look back at one of the stories we brought to you a short while ago, the Working Committee of the United National Party convened this afternoon. Speaking to the media subsequent to the meeting, UNP General Secretary This Sattanayake said that a special committee will be appointed to look into ways which the UNP could be steered to victory at the upcoming polls. He further said that the leadership of the party will have no authority over the recommendations of this special committee. Meanwhile, also speaking to the media, Gayantha Karunathilake said that Karo Jayasuriya will most likely be appointed to this committee. Media manager of Sri Lanka Cricket Rajitha Fernando states that Sri Lanka Cricket has received 10 applications as of this evening for the post of head coach of the Sri Lanka cricket team. The accepting of applications for the position of head coach will conclude at midnight today. When Sports First made inquiries, the Sri Lanka Cricket media manager said that the names of coaches who have sent in their applications cannot be revealed today.
With that, we wrap up Primetime News. I'm Stephanie Lazarus.
And I'm Rameshwarugal Bandara. Good night.
First at 9.
Hotline 0114-896-896. www.newsfirst.lk. Feedback at newsfirst.lk.